My discussion is not participatory, so you can turn the lights down. I don't want to see anybody's faces. What? So, 4th grade. I invite Amy Bruce over to play. She's blonde, stocky. She's got braces. She always has those orange rubber bands around. And I wanted to kiss her. I didn't really know I wanted to kiss her, you know what I mean? But I kind of figured it out. I digress. We're 9. We both like mint chocolate chip and NSYNC and those 99-cent chokers you get at the mall. And I had her over to play Sleeping Beauty. Surprise! I cast myself as the prince. And we were in my bedroom, and my mom walked by, and she yanked me out into the hallway. And I remember pushing my shoulders up against our textured corn blue wallpaper in our hallway and pushing my heels back against the chipped white baseboards. And she got real quiet, you know, like when your mom gets real quiet, like when you're in trouble in church. That's how you know you're in trouble. And she said, "Don't you ever kiss a girl again." What I heard was, "Don't let anyone see you kiss a girl ever again." Junior high. I'm in English class, and Mrs. Caruana, with her clumped mascara and her bright orange lipstick, tells us about Greek mythology. She tells us about Aphrodite, the goddess of love and sex and seashells. I think that's all her things. And I was blown away. She told us the story about how Aphrodite found a husband. And I'm sitting here in Catholic school with my furry knees sticking out past my faux wood desk with like Catholic school graffiti on the desk, which is just crosses. Like we couldn't even do that right. We're so cool. And Aphrodite, when she said that she wanted a husband, demigods and gods from far and wide, from all over the cosmos, came to call on her. They offered her everything: the sun, the moon, the sea, the sky. And along with all those gods came Hephaestus. Does anyone know of Hephaestus? He's a less than popular god. If you don't know Hephaestus, he is the god of blacksmithing and welding. And he's a dirty, disheveled god. He's Zeus's workhorse in a rubber apron. And he got in line with all the other gods. And you know they were making fun of him, right? They were probably like throwing spitballs or those little paper triangle footballs. And he didn't care. Hephaestus waited his turn. One by one, Aphrodite turned away every single god. Hephaestus got to the front. She looked at him. And she said, "Why should I pick you?" And he said one thing in reply: "Because I work late." And she chose him, you guys. She chose him because he gave her exactly what she wanted, which was the time to totally have an affair with Ares. You know what I'm saying? The Greek god of war, who we can all agree probably looked just like Nick Carter and was probably like totally smoking. Nick Carter in like 1992, not Nick Carter now. Stay with me. I had learned already at these young moments in my life that we had to give people what they wanted. We spent so much time indoctrinating ourselves, thinking about what other people expected, what they needed from us, and we molded our lives around that expectation. I'm 24. I have one hell of a weekend. I get a head tattoo and a concussion, and I sign a lease to move to Columbus, Ohio. I moved to Columbus for a fresh start and perhaps a few more head tattoos. We'll see where it goes. I'm here for about 2 weeks. And my best friend asks me to go on a double date with her. She met a guy that she likes, asks me to go along, be her wingman. And I say, sure. We go to a suburban dive bar in a strip mall. You know the type. Out-of-place shot girls and low, dingy ceilings. It's been so long since I've flirted with anyone, especially a guy, that I am totally out of my element. So I drink some beers and do some shots. By the end of the night, I'm in no condition to drive home. And when my date offers me a ride back to his place for a nightcap, I think, sure, why not? What's the worst that could happen? The last thing I remember is him being on top of me and me saying no over and over again. And then I just curl up into a ball in the corner and pray to the Catholic God I don't believe in that he's finally asleep. The next day, he offers to take me to my car. And I say yes. I don't know where I am, some concrete apartment complex in the burbs. And I get in his car. And then he asks if I want to go to breakfast. And I say yes. I went to brunch with my rapist. And we're sitting there, and he's flirting. He's telling me about his life. And I'm sitting on the other side of that table trying to piece together the night. I said yes to kissing. I said no to touching. I said no to sex. I said no to sex. I still saw him the months after. He would show up, this subhuman, this rodent of a person, at parties or events I was at. He would come into my social circle that I was in with my friends and bring up my tattoos that no one can see when I have my clothes on. Very uncomfortable comments, and then he would walk away. And my friends, obviously confused by his bizarre behavior, would ask me about it, and I would say, oh, forget it, he's just a loser. Let's move on. Because I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Because it's a party. Because you're not supposed to make people uncomfortable. Anyways, it was my fault. I shouldn't have gone back to his house. We spend so much time worrying about other people and their expectations. So much time on small talk about traffic and the weather. Now, I am a fabulous queer ninja. I move through heteronormative spaces and I judo chop everyone's expectations of the gender norms. I'm like a sexy queer nun, but like instead of hitting your knuckles with a ruler, I hit it with some truth. Gender is a social construction. Yes. And yes, those pleated khakis do look good on you. Get it? Yes. I do what I want. I say what I want. In my last few weeks of law school, I was sitting in a class and two boys behind me, I won't even call them men, boys behind me are making fun of a woman from an earlier class. She had opened up her laptop and a pornographic video had started playing. We've all been there. She slammed that laptop shut, but if you've ever slammed a computer shut when a video is playing, you know that sound keeps going for a couple seconds. They heard the audio and at least saw some things. But the two boys behind me, one of them made a comment I never got out of my head. He said, "Oh, I just think it's weird when women masturbate." And I couldn't help myself. I said, "What? What?" Sorry, what? And he said, "Oh, I mean, it's weird enough that women masturbate, but I really think it's inappropriate when women look at porn." I was like, what are we supposed to masturbate to? Are we just supposed to pull up our secret Pinterest wedding clipboards? I can't get off on mason jars on every guest table, guys. It's not what gets me going. I said this to them, and they stared at me. And I refused to break eye contact. And eventually they both awkwardly started looking down at their phones and checking, I don't know, they're checking their lives in the reflection. And I turned back around and class started. And the coolest thing happened when I stopped caring about what people wanted from me and what people expected from me. I started kissing girls. Started kissing a lot of girls. Now I only kiss one. And I tell jokes about kissing girls. And people laugh. And we connect. Because it is finally my story to tell. Thank you.